Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from 7 a.m. to this particular minute, where it is time for deeper discussions and solutions. Life coach and counselor for years and ending. Grace Destiny. You're familiar with her on social media. She's very upfront about, living towards your purpose and living your purpose. And she's also very, very, very opinionated on matters regarding life. Grace Destiny, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you.
Good to have you too.
We have missed you on sets.
Yes, I've missed you too.
But we are glad you're
this
here.
too.
You've missed the seat. A lot of young people today are glued to their screens. We've had a young person here, a peer counselor, mwenye ametuambia kuna shida in campus with the young people. People are stressed, people are depressed, people are suicidal. And this is the generation we are nurturing. We are the next leaders.
Sure.
We're taking over from the president in a few years, these cabinet secretaries, whatever is passed. We are the ones, we are the dads, we're the moms.
Definitely.
But we're dying in our heads.
Yeah.
We're going crazy. We can no longer think. So we don't even have direction. Some of us don't even know our identity anymore. I'm pretty, I look good, but
you don't even feel it.
I'm not feeling it. I'm just existing. I'm not alive.
Yeah.
All right?
Everyone tells you look nice and you're like, really?
You're not even sure. So it's like the youth find Tuko, but are we even okay? Mentally.
Yeah.
So that is what we were talking about this morning. And a lot of guys, there's a lady who texted in, a lot of guys have texted, saying, you know what, I am stressed and I don't know why. So the problem is
many people are stressed and they don't know why.
They don't know why.
We don't know why is the problem. Because when you come to a counselor and you tell me that you're stressed, I want to understand what brought the stress, what have you gone through lately, so that we can now at least identify your stress with something. Then you're like, I don't even know what is happening in my life. So how am I supposed to figure out what is happening in your life if you don't know what is happening in your life? The issue is, life is so complicated at the moment, especially for the young people.
Yes.
I talk about young people because older people are coping. They have had a share of their worries, cares, problems, and they somehow have gained some mechanism to cope.
Okay.
So they are fine. Not really, but somehow they are wondering, why should I stress myself anymore? I've stressed myself for 20 years. Why continue? I have my kids to look up to. As they also stress themselves, they're supposed to come to me, so I have to really measure up to some point. When it comes to stress, this is something that you can't manage unless you've been taught how to.
Exactly. Unless you're taught
How to.
how to. Now, let me just come to the teaching. Back in the days,
Yep.
Our parents, for example, we had informal education being passed.
Yep.
We were close to grandparents,
Yes.
aunties and uncles, who would kind of at least walk you through life.
Yep.
Be this kind of a woman, without this, there's this consequence.
Yes.
At this age, you expect to behave this way. All right? When this happens, behave this way, react this way, respond this way.
Yep.
Men just had a group, somebody would hold their hand.
Yes.
Right
Fathers
now-
were fathers there.
Yes. Right now, I'm not really sure if this exists.
No, it doesn't. You should be sure
Oh,
it
wait.
doesn't.
Did you say fathers were fathers?
Yeah, fathers were fathers.
Okay.
Like they were really there.
Okay. So
They-
there is a difference today.
Oh, definitely.
All right. So, Grace.
In some setups, they are not even fathers, physically, emotionally.
So where does this leave the
Sometimes
youth?
we have fathers who are there physically but not emotionally. Others are present and absent at the same time.
All right.
You see them come in and go out.
So
no
this-
word, nothing.
This lack of teaching, is it leading to some problem mentally?
A
For
lot,
me,
a lot.
for my husband, for my boyfriend,
Yes.
for my colleague.
I'll talk like this. We have two sets of generations. The one that is currently now the teenagers, the youths, and those who are a bit older, between 40s and 50s. And I want to say that the problem started then. I think the last people to be mentored were those who are 60s and 70s, because that's when education came, the colonization came, and everything change just crept in. You realize that our parents went to school. So somehow, there was the formal education, the informal education.
Yes.
So there was a balance,
Okay.
a bit of a balance.
All right.
But something happened, and this is something that many people don't understand. When my father went to school, and my mother, because they went to school, I'm talking about my very
Own.
personal
Okay.
parents. They were both learned. When my mother went to school, my grandmother started fearing her. You know why? She's speaking a language she doesn't understand.
Okay.
She now knows how to do calculations, and my grandmother doesn't know. So automatically, they switch roles.
All right.
She becomes the one to be looked up to for solutions. So when do we toe the line between this is academic, this is life? So at some point you'll teach me how to count, and at some point I'll teach you how life goes on. Everybody went confused. Because the parents would be like, my child is so learned. My son is a doctor. My daughter is a lawyer. I can't sit them down to tell them this is how a woman behaves in her husband's house. This is how a man behaves with a woman.
So this is the point
exactly
things went
where everything crashed. That is where things crashed. We left homes. We left the villages. We went to towns to study and to work. So where do you connect with your auntie anymore? The last time I sat with my auntie, I think I was 15 years old or 16.
Are we talking reality?
The truth.
So you are representing a lot of us.
Yes, and that is because at that point, for reasons that I'll come to explain later here, because I'd like to give my story here, I was not in school. That's why I had time with my auntie. Otherwise, my classmates and those who are my age mates were in school busy. So no time for aunties and uncles.
So they're even worse right now.
If you have to visit your auntie or your uncle in the village right now, your auntie looks at you. First of all, they don't even know how to handle you. You are a diaper baby. You are a cellular child. They don't know how to handle it because they don't want to squeeze your fragile body, and then your mother will come holding their waist like this and wondering, what did you do to my child? So there's boundaries and boundaries and boundaries.
So we're talking about this whole wall between generations. So then, okay, now that there's this wall, you know, as Ankia would say, well, I have seen friends, I've interacted with friends. I'm also a young person.
Yeah.
Hope I don't look 60.
Of course you don't.
Yes.
Do you even look 20?
So then you want to move with this.
Yes.
You know, situation with this current wave, but
and
still be a responsible woman, you know, pass values, uphold them. And you're losing your friends, but you're also not able to get an employment with a conservative boss. All right?
True.
You want to maintain a marriage and a family, but you also do not want to miss this other job that needs you to be a bit hyper.
Yeah.
Grace, what is the solution? What is it?
The good thing about life is that any human being, after birth, if you're born today and left in the forest to grow, when 6 months come, you'll have your one tooth or two.
Okay.
When you're 9 months, 1 year, you'll start standing. Nobody will tell you what to do.
All right.
Somehow, a human being can grow alone.
All right.
To some extent.
Okay.
They can pick some values without anyone nurturing them.
Okay.
The major problem is when there's an interruption. And the interruption is negative. Hope you get this right. If you leave a child to just grow, they'll know what is right and what is wrong. When they burn their fingers with fire, they'll know this is hot, I can't touch. There's an instinct in every human being to know the right and the wrong without anybody telling them. But when someone comes and interrupts this instinct with a negative perspective, like the media, the internet, that is what is corrupting our children. We have so many suicidal cases. Right now, I have a very close person to me, very small, who is suicidal. I got this information from a third party. I'm not even able to approach the issue. It bothers me a lot. That person looks cool, calm, and collected. Comes from a very good family, successful family. But the person is suicidal as we talk. The person feels like the parents don't care anymore. The parents don't love them. Or they are trying to make that child become something
that she
doesn't have any clue about. So they feel lost. What are we doing to our children?
So those are the interruptions you're talking about?
Those are the interruptions I'm talking about. Right now, every African believes that going to school, primary school, secondary school, college, is what makes you amount to a human being.
I agree. They say.
But is that the truth? Does that mean that if you don't go through school, you can never be anybody? How many people are successful and they never went to school? That's what they say. So is every child wired towards education and academics? Or are we also torturing our children through the same? Look at what is happening right now after the COVID-19. Kids are at home and they're happy. The kind of happiness in the houses. You wake up when you want, you eat when you want, you go to the toilet when you want, you dress the way you want. And you are like, kumbe, this is freedom.
You're not by any chance saying Grace, that education is not
I
important.
am not saying that. I'm only saying...
But kids are happy.
I'm only saying individuals have different identities, different wiring, and it should be respected.
Okay.
There are kids that are stressed up simply because they were taken to church.
So these things should be respected.
Respected.
Unique
Teach.
personalities.
Yes.
All right.
Teach the right thing, leave it.
All right. Let the individual
child
grow.
Choose.
Do not negatively interrupt.
No.
Now, Grace, we have a youth watching this morning,
Yes.
and they're like, now here I am now.
Mm-hmm.
I am suicidal. I am depressed. I am done. I cannot approach a counselor. I just want you to tell me something I can do with myself right now.
One, you can't approach a counselor because most counselors are unapproachable. Maybe they're too expensive. Maybe you're wondering, you're going to tell your parents you want to see a counselor for what?
Yes.
Because first of all, the parents will pin you down. Tell us what is the problem. My friend, what are they? My fellow parents.
Oh, yeah. They're here.
I was wondering what to call them.
Yes.
My fellow parents. If she doesn't want to open up to you or he doesn't want to open up to you, don't force it. It won't do any good. There's parents who bring their teenagers to me.
Okay.
And they pay me to talk to their teenagers. Then behind the teenagers' back, they want to know, what did she tell you? I'm like, parent, my friend, if she didn't tell you, she won't tell you. And I won't tell you either.
Oh, so so they should know
if you bring your
word
child
is
to
safe
me,
with
it's
you.
between me and her or him.
I
If
appreciate
you trusted
that.
me, please. Because if this child knows that I'm opening up to you, the child shuts. So I'll take your money. I have no problem. My name is Waboy Kikuyu.
Okay.
So money.
That
So
is from
I'll
her.
get money, yes.
Okay.
I'll get money from you as a parent.
But to
I
take
won't
care
help
of
your
your
child
child.
because the child will not open up.
Okay.
So what do I want to say? You as a child who is watching,
All right.
know that this life is all about
And
you.
a youth, for that
It's
matter.
your life. Yes, a child is between as young as 0 to maybe
Grace,
20s.
don't talk as a parent now. There is that child, and then there's that youth after 18. So please address them.
They're not children.
No, they're not children now. They're trying to figure
sorry,
out life.
Sorry, yeah. Whether you
Yes.
call them a child, they shut.
Yes, they will
Yes.
shut. They
Children
will say,
and the youths.
yes.
I take back my... Hey, Anki.
We must stand with the youth.
And you know, I'm their friend.
Talk to them. Now they...
You have a life beyond your parents, beyond your teachers, and beyond anybody that is in your life. You can live your life fully without anybody. I've come to realize that after birth, you disconnect with your mother after 9 months. They can die and you live.
Oh, yes.
And you can die and they live. That now brings a distinction, that you have a life of your own. For twins, they don't come out holding each other's hand. Everyone comes at their own time. The other one leaves the womb at their own time. Your life is your life. And your life is not in anybody's hands. As long as you have a blame game, my parents didn't do this for me, my parents are not doing this for me, you will always stay paralyzed. But when you take it upon yourself and you hold your life in your hands and you decide to live your life alone, you can go to any height, regardless of where your parents got you or where they got themselves. Because you have a different identity. I love teaching
identity.
about where we come from.
Okay.
Because if we really existed before we existed, that means we don't belong to our parents either. I usually like talking to people and telling people that we are spirits before we were physical. Yes. You are a spirit before you are a human being. So your spirit you is more original than the physical you. The physical you is what you got from your parents. The spirit you is where you came from. That is why when
So
you die
nurture
today,
that.
yes, it's very serious. When Grace dies today, people will start saying Grace has died. Yes, the body is in Lee Funeral Home. The
But-
body will be taken. The body. So
Yes, the
Grace is
body.
no more.
Ah.
It is about the body.
Okay.
So where is Grace? Grace went back to where she came from.
Grace,
So when you understand that, you get more powerful.
you're very
you get
graceful.
strong.
Now, Grace, guys are sending in there. I don't want to end this show before you respond to some few
No
people who
problem,
are following
no
the
problem,
show.
no problem.
Thank you so much for following and sending your feedback and your questions and opening up to us. 0739-110544 is the number. WhatsApp, SMS. Tell somebody who's stressed to just talk to us this morning. Again, 0739-110544, and on Facebook also KUTV Kenya. Now, morning Anki, I'm Gabriel from Lolongo. My stress is that I'm disconduct couple. I don't know what that means. My partner is positive. Okay.
Okay.
Since when I think 24, since he was 24, and now he's 29 years. Should I marry her or just have her as a female friend? I'm asking myself for how long I will stay this way. Please kindly advise me.
Who is positive, the partner?
Yeah, Gabriel, his partner.
So the girlfriend is
The girlfriend is positive.
He's
They've been
wondering
dating
whether to
since
marry her.
he was 24. Now that's like 5 years down the line. And he's wondering, should I keep her as a BFF, a friend? Or do I marry her? Because I think Gabriel is in a situation where he loves her, but he's scared of the
He's
fact
scared
that,
of the fact that
she's positive.
This is a very sensitive thing.
Yes.
Nobody can really tell you what to do. First of all, it depends on what you believe.
All right.
There are people who go beyond all this and they decide to marry. There are those who are careful. And marrying that girl would only add stress to Gabriel's life. The fact that he's already asking, there are only two options,
All right.
marry her or not.
Yes.
Marrying her is what is natural. Not marrying her is what you reason.
Okay, so there's logic and there's the natural feeling.
Yes.
Okay.
The feeling is that he loves her.
All right.
But in this juncture, the reasoning or the what do I call it? Not the reasoning. The logical truth.
Okay.
The fact is overcoming the truth. The truth is that he loves her. Those are the feelings. That is how he feels as a man. But the fact that he's sick is overcoming this truth.
Okay.
So I would advise Gabriel to follow his facts. Because if he goes with feelings and marries her, there are sometimes in marriage where feelings just go down.
All right.
And
okay.
the logic will arise and you will send that woman packing. Or you even stress her over the same situation that she's not happy about.
Okay.
So what I would say is that take your time, Gabriel. Be sure of what you want. Just be
Alright.
sure. If you decide to marry this girl, be ready for all the consequences.
By the end of
Shit happens.
But at the end of the day, it's Gabriel to make his
It's
decision.
about Gabriel. We can never decide for him.
All right,
Yeah.
Gabriel. Now
And
I
he
hope-
should be sober when making this decision.
make it soberly.
Marriage is not
Sobriety.
about 2 days or 3 days. Today I was talking to my mentor. I also have a mentor.
Oh,
I have
see,
a coach.
young people. Okay, you also have a coach.
I have a coach.
You're
I talked
coaching
to my
us,
coach until I was at the doorsteps.
and they said you're ready to go.
Oh yes, and he told me about soulmates.
Okay.
Maybe I should touch about that.
Yeah, for Gabriel's sake, maybe shortly
For
before we
Gabriel's
get the
sake.
next problem.
One statement that he said, there were several, there were 4, but one of the statements that he said is that a soulmate goes beyond race, age, status, and everything.
Okay.
Gabriel, if that girl is your soulmate, you'll go beyond all the negative.
And they will definitely survive it.
They'll survive it.
Okay.
Life is general. Nature is kind to those who decide to follow their hearts.
Beautiful. Ish. Allow me. All right, now, morning. Anki, this is Clinto watching from KUTV. Thank you so much for watching, Clinto. I'm really, really glad you're watching. Unasema, I have a girlfriend whom we have dated for 2 years, and lately, nasikia some rumors ananicheza na askari. What can I do na huyo dem? Nampenda aki nisaidieni. Like we've said, soulmates, nature is kind.
Yeah.
But anamcheza na askari. Who wants to play that askari? But he's saying, Clinton is saying, still, nevertheless, regardless, anampenda.
Let me tell you.
How can you approach Clinton?
Clinton.
Clinton.
Love is also about thinking. You can't just feel love and not think about it.
Okay,
if
so
this girl anakucheza, amelazimishwa na askari. Is it by force?
I'm not sure.
She's willingly kucheza.
Then
You still love her.
Yeah.
No problem. Work out your heart and let that girl go.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes we think you love someone, but in the real sense, you don't love them. You just don't
You're
love
attached.
you. You just don't love you.
You don't love you?
Yes. When you don't love you, you overlove the other person.
All right. Okay.
Clint.
Now, Clint. Okay. Clinto, fikiria yo maneno.
Just think about yourself first.
Love yourself first.
Because that girl is thinking about herself. That's why she's with you and they're scary.
All right. So follow your heart, but take your brain with it.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Just a last one so we can close this. Morning rest today. I'm Anne from Nakuru. My parents never understand me. I'm tired. Nitafanyaje?
Oh, my God. Just try and understand yourself first, Anne.
She's saying her parents don't understand her.
Yes.
Okay.
At some point, you gain grounds by understanding yourself first, so that those who don't understand you don't matter so much.
Even your own parents?
Yes. Yes, even your own parents.
Okay.
It all depends on what we are talking about here. When you hear her talking about they don't understand her, that means she's being judged for maybe things that she is not.
All right.
I've had parents who are really, really pressurizing their children and telling them, I hear there are homosexuals in your school. Are you also a homosexual? Tell me the truth. Are you homosexual? And the child is like, oh, really? Can't you just get me? First of all, I'll talk to parents. The greatest gift you can give your teenage children is trust.
Okay.
Not food, not clothes, not money, but trust. Let them know that you trust them. It helps them to work hard towards doing the right thing. When they know they are not trusted, they don't care.
All right.
Because they actually don't understand why they should behave well. So when you don't trust them, you give them a certificate of not behaving well. Because after all, mom doesn't trust me, dad doesn't trust me. But for you, child, who is not trusted and not understood, I want you to understand this is your life. Don't mess up yourself because you're not understood.
Again.
Love yourself, trust yourself, and believe in yourself.
Beautiful.
The greatest energy to walk this life comes from within, not outside. Not from parents, not from siblings, not from friends, not from peers, not from anywhere else, but from the inside. So when you believe in yourself, everybody else will align.
Thank you so much, Grace Destiny, for being here. Your name only, speaks for itself. Grace and Destiny. You need to be graceful towards your destiny. Sometimes you clap that for me too. I tried.
My pastor, my pastor.
But thank you so much
You're
for coming.
Preaching good.
You reminded me of a song that says to the women, because it's WCW as we close. Don't need you to tell me I'm pretty to make me feel beautiful.
Your voice is not.
Because it comes from inside, not from the outside. So,
I love your voice.
Grace. So, guys, it's been a really beautiful show, Grace.
Thank you.
And I just want to conclude, we're talking about young people today. You've talked about parents. You've talked about, being graceful, being patient. Ultimately, it's you. We can tell everything on the show, but you get to decide.
Yeah.
So, young people, therefore, have the potential to drive solutions that are sustainable and applicable. It's not all the time we are unrealistic for mental health investment. So for mental health, you must also invest. All right?
It's
your time.
It's a job.
And world leaders also need to invest in mental health. Atuachi. World leaders. All right? And the key stakeholders to drive those investments are the youth. We are the key stakeholders.
Very true. We understand each other. We understand ourselves. We understand our problems. We can be the key.
And by calling on a uniform dialogue, we're calling on a uniform dialogue this morning for mental health illness. To quote uniform, please. They can offer insights on the need for affordable, accessible services in primary healthcare. So it starts with Grace Destiny, with me, with you, and for watching. Thank you so much this morning. Have a lovely Wednesday. Grace, why are you looking at me like I cut you short? You can never run out of words.
Yeah, just wondering why you're not allowing me to give my contact.
Okay, give them. Give them, all of them.
This Destiny Life Skills. Please subscribe to my...
It is well.
Do that to my YouTube channel.
Please subscribe.
My number is 0724. Don't call, just text.
Okay.
You can call, but texting is what I don't fail to respond. 0724 537 530 537 530 0724.
All right, thank you so much. We've given you some mental health education. We've given you some social development aspects. Now we're bringing in the real education. Coming in after this particular show is a Limu Live. We bring you Kiswahili. So please, call in your young ones, your educated ones, the ones that are not educated, because KUTV is about to go down with some very good Kiswahili. This morning, my name is Anki Doris Umbat. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you again next Wednesday. Same place, same time. Adios.